Morning, everybody. Johnny Nerd out here. Get ready to do a huge ride on the Kawasaki Versys 300X. So this is going to be the furthest I'm going to have pushed this bike in its life. Going from Salt Lake City to Denver, riding around there, and then coming back, all safely. Should be between 1 to 1,500 miles over 3 days or so. So yeah, this is my setup. This time I have earplugs, Max earplugs. I got earphones. I have some sound isolation. I'm going to try to pick up some sound isolating headphones on the way if I can. I got a little towel to sit on if I need to. Underneath that, I got some beads to sit on. I'm trying to learn from my past mistakes here, people. It is brisk this morning. It was high of like 95 yesterday. Today's the day after Labor Day. Labor Day was like 95 degrees. This morning, it's now 45 degrees. It is freezing. It dropped like 50 degrees. And in Denver, it's going to be a low of, I think I saw 27 today. I'm going into a high of like 38. Denver had like a 60 degree drop today. Not the best to go motorcycling. Day after Labor Day in 28 degree weather. This is crazy. It's gonna be like this most weekends. So I gotta dress warm. Yeah, let's see how this bike can handle a 1,500 mile journey. All right, just hit Park City. Stopped because I was freezing. Snow on the ground here on cars. I had to get some hand warmers and foot warmers. I was just freezing to the bone. And of course, I get here and they're like, no, we don't sell them yet because it's not winter. That was stressful getting out of Salt Lake too. There's like 60, 70 mile an hour gusts. Still it's windy here, but I was getting blown everywhere. I had to go like 50, 60 miles an hour. Hopefully the rest of this ride is gonna smooth out. Ooh, okay. So I found a Walmart across the street and I was able to get some hot hands. A bunch of these. It's like 30 degrees. Look at all these cars have got snow on them. It's so cold, so windy. But I got hot hands. I got my hoodie on now. I just got a couple text messages that said some roads are closed the way that I need to go. So I'm like, perfect. This might take forever. It's supposed to be an 8-hour ride. Might be a 12-hour ride. I hope not. Let's hope that's not true. But all right, I'm cold and it's windy. I want to make this trip. Okay, so wow, that was not fun. I just did the first 120 miles or so of this trip have not been fun. When I first left Salt Lake, I was met with like 60, 70 mile an hour gusts that were just blowing me all over the highway. And that little 300X is like a little kite. It just wants to go, it'll just go wherever the wind goes. So the half time I was like leaning, trying to avoid, and then it'd stop and then I'd get blown like halfway into the other lane. It was just not fun. And then when I finally got out of Park City, I hit a full-on blizzard. It felt like, maybe it wasn't a full-on blizzard, but it was coming down hard and it was hard to see the roads. And if I had my visor down, it would fog up. So I had to drive with my visor up at least halfway, and then snow and sleet was getting in my helmet, pelting me in the face. Oh man, and it was so cold. I was gonna take a video of it because I was like, this is crazy. But my fingers wouldn't work. My fingers were just like this. I couldn't bend them. I was like, I can't. And then my phone wasn't recognizing my finger was touching it. I think it thought like a popsicle, like I was just smashing a popsicle against the screen. It wasn't doing anything, so I was like, forget it. I was so cold, I was shivering. Oh, it was so cold. So I found a gas station here, fueled up, changed my shoes. Now I finally have dry feet again. Oh, and it feels so much better. Put a couple more layers on. I didn't put enough layers on this morning. I feel like that's like the number one most fatiguing thing you could do is just being cold and wet on a motorcycle. It will just fatigue you so much. I just got a couple plastic bags from them. I'm gonna wrap them around my feet. Hopefully I can keep these shoes dry because they're my last pair that's dry. Onward to Denver. It was the worst riding I've ever done in my life, motorcycle riding. It was like a blizzard for about an hour and a half straight, and there's no one there. No place to stop off and stop. My shoes were soaked. feet. My hands were just ice. They're numb for like an hour and a half. It was dumb. I didn't wear the right stuff. So I went to Walmart. Plug. I get $1. Walmart. It's a deal. I got these boots. Waterproof boots. I ain't gonna let any air through either, which is nice. Got them for 14 bucks. And I got some gloves. I had some motorcycle gloves that had like the knuckles in them, but I just got some. Hopefully these are gonna be waterproof. They should be. And I got some hot hands, like the body warmer. I'm gonna just stick them everywhere. I'm freezing. I can't stop shaking. I'm just so cold. Man, it was just the worst. Cause it was blizzarding. It was so cold that my visor kept fogging up. So I had to put my visor up to let air in, but then I couldn't see because I was getting pelted in the face with snow. And there's cars coming up behind me. I was trying to do like 50 to 60 miles an hour, but it was tough. And then some of those crosswinds were just blowing me crazy. I'd have to slow down to 30 miles an hour just to combat the wind. Man, I've never ridden into anything like that before. I'm so thankful to see a Walmart. Warm up for a minute. Ooh. All right, I'm gonna buy some stock in Walmart now. All right, onward. Oh, he packed up. It's starting to rain again. But come on, what is this? I'm not liking this. It just spun out a little bit. I'm not liking it. It's so cold. Well, the sun's going down. Roads are pretty bad. I-70 is closed in parts. I'm still about 80 miles away from Denver. So I'm thinking about having my friend just grab a pickup truck from Home Depot or U-Haul or something and come pick me up and grab, because it's so stressful driving out here. It's so bad. Man, just laid the bike down on I-70. Look at that with those roads. It's like pure ice. I bent my gear shift lever, so I can't even get it to start now. But it's weird, it won't even turn over if I pull the clutch in. So I don't know what I did to do it. But my friend's coming in a pickup truck. He's gonna pick me up. What a great end to just the worst motorcycle ride ever. Of course, I shouldn't have pushed my luck. Oh well. Lessons learned. Don't push it. Never push it. Tell me you're Sean. Oh man. It's like, tell me you're Sean. Oh, freezing my ass off, man.
Warm up a minute? To get in.
Yeah. Alright.
Definitely gonna have nightmares tonight.
Okay. So it looks like this just got bent.
Where's it go? This plastic's in the way.
I don't think so. It's not hitting it.
What are you talking about?
It's not hitting it.
Isn't this thing go all the way around? Or it always stuck out like that?
I don't know how it was now. Let's see, is there anything else that looks damaged? What about these cases? Looks pretty good. All that weight was on that case there.
That's right.
Yeah. Looks like the mirrors are fine. This scrape.
Oh man.
Dang it. That's gonna ruin the warranty. Oh, the fairing though. But that looks like pretty simple.
Yeah.
No, just that little
that
piece.
red piece.
Yeah. I wanted to change the color of the bike anyways.
That panel, right?
Yeah, I want to change that panel. Always, I hated it. Maybe just this got bent. Maybe this just needs to come down. Jerk it. It likes it. Got to video as much as I can. So here's the Home Depot truck.
Got pizza, got clothes.
Sean had to come pick me up last night on the side of the road in this bad boy. Yeah, I felt like it went. Back to the hobo-mobile. Let's see. Looks better. What do you think? I just want to be able to shift it. I mean, I don't think it has to be perfect, right? I just don't want to snap that off.
Yeah, I'd say it's not perfect.
Oh, man. It just feels so wrong. It just has to go up like that, though. It's getting a lot closer. Maybe I don't put it in so much. That's what she said. What do you think?
One more. It's like new.
We're getting greedy? This snaps. You owe me a coffee. Oh, okay. Let's see. Man, it's like... I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go check it. One more time. This is it. I think this is gonna be it. Got a real good feeling about this. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I could risk bending it again, but...
Probably drop it on the way home and it'll just bend it right where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I'll follow it the other way. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can get it out of fourth gear. It's not wanting to go. It smells like something burning plastic or something a little bit.
In this video, we're going to highlight what is still working on his bike.
So far, the mirrors seem to still be working.
How do you recommend the mirrors to anybody?
No, but it's stuck in fourth gear now. I can't get it out of fourth gear, which really sucks. We drove from Denver to Boulder, which is what, like 33 miles? It was actually kind of fun because like you're in that high RPM the whole time. I got it up to about 70 and I was like close to red line. A little over 11,000 RPM, I'm doing like 70. So I was trying to keep it at like 60 to 65 so that way it's like 10,000 RPM. But it was fun because like even like when you're doing 65, you give it a little bit more gas and the bike is still responsive. Like usually in sixth gear, this bike is no guts over 65. Can't tell if these things worked at all. I bought this for the seat. I can't tell if I was just so preoccupied with not dying on the way here that I didn't even notice my butt was uncomfortable or if this thing actually worked. All right, at this point of the video, I'm going to turn this video into a review of the $14 mud boots that I bought at Walmart. Both my feet are wet. Walking in this little creek, not even to the top, and my feet are wet. Okay, now back to the video. So I just noticed that there's a little bit of sticker residue on the helmet here. I think that may be why I crashed. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off before I get on the road again. Hold on, I was just shivering, walking up and down the aisles of Walmart, just like shivering, couldn't stop like shaking. And I remember I was thinking like, this is hilarious, because I was like, do you know where the hot hands are? I remember asking everybody, they're like, oh, this way. All right, man, be safe, don't push it. All right, about to leave the La Quinta. It is 9:30. Wanted to wait till the warmed up a little bit. I wanted 0% chance of having a repeat of coming here. Looks like it should be good weather. I checked the weather along the way at different places. It should be fine. It should be upwards of the mid 70s going back the way it should have been coming here. The day after Labor Day should not have been high 20s, low 30s in a blizzard. So I got ripped off, so I'm going to go back the same way I came. I'm going to take 40 from Denver to Salt Lake. Should be a good ride, the way that it should have been coming here. I'm getting redemption, but I am stuck in fourth gear. That's the only gear that works. It's going to be interesting. If I redline at 12,000 RPMs, I'm doing about 71 miles per hour, which I don't want to do. I don't want to redline that thing for 10 hours straight. So I'm going to try to keep it between like 60, 65, keep it between like 10 and 11,000 RPM. I feel like that motor can just do that all day. It feels, there was a brief moment where yesterday I hit 13,000 RPM. I was well into the red limit. I didn't even notice it because that motor is just so, it doesn't start to shake or vibrate or you feel like the thing's going to explode. It just is like, let's just keep going. But it's kind of dangerous. So I want to take the slow route home. I don't want to take the interstate because I think I'd be tempted to just do 75 and keep it at like 13,000 RPM, like well into the red. I think I got a decent amount of sleep last night. I was kind of broken up. Sean left at 3:30 to head back to Chicago on his FJR 1300. Smooth bike. A little jealous right now. He had hand warmers in there. Kept telling me how his hands were getting too hot. And I was like, I literally rolled into Denver with like snot coming down my nose and like freezing shivering. I mean, it's uncanny the parallels between Dumb and Dumber and this storyline. Except they didn't wipe out on their little Vespa. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to the La Quinta, the panel gaps. I think the way going home is going to be way more uninteresting. Ooh, okay, so I'm taking 70 home. It keeps getting colder. It was supposed to be like between 50s and 70s the whole ride home. It's not. It's like low 40s, high 30s. Beautiful though. It's just so beautiful going through these. It's hard to complain, but I'm like shivering and shaking. And I can't find any place that sells a decent pair of gloves because it's September 8th and nobody carries winter stuff yet. Last weekend was Labor Day weekend and it was 100 degrees everywhere. We had a monster heat wave everywhere. Now it's 30 and 40, so no one has any gloves. So my hands are just frozen. I'm using articulation on them and I'm just miserable, but it's beautiful. So I'm physically miserable, but mentally it's a great ride. I'm not trying to complain. But I need to find some winter gloves, some skiing gloves. This little town, it's really interesting. I don't know what it is. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to figure out where I'm at, but man, it's nice. Hopefully they have some winter gloves here. Just look at like the mountains, like riding through that. Oh, it's beautiful. It was snow covered, so it really sucked. But it was just so pretty. I wanted to stop and take a video of it, but my hands were too cold. Found a Walmart. My best friend. Got some more earplugs. Don't know what happened. I think they all fell out when I tipped the bike over. When it went horizontal, I think all my earplugs fell out. I got some gloves. They're not super heavy. They're not winter ski gloves, but they're better than nothing. I'm going to try to double up. So, let's see if that works. I'm freezing. It just will not get warm. We'll not get out of the 40s this whole ride. Let me see if this works. So I just stopped for gas. Just rode through like Vail to... Where am I at now? I should look on the map, see where I'm at. But I just rode through 70. If you ever get a chance to ride through I-70 from like Vail west for like 70 miles, some of those beautiful rides I think I've ever done. You just ride through a canyon the entire time. I wish I had a GoPro so I could show you guys and not just describe it, because I know that doesn't really do much help. But bike has been holding up really well. Only been able to use fourth gear. It's been a little stressful because I can only top out at like 70, and so realistically I've been doing like 64 to 69, and speed limit here is 75. So I'm trying to find like a camper or something and ride behind them. So that's been kind of stressful. Well, not too much. I hate people whizzing by you all the time. It's always a little stressful when you're riding, but it's been okay. Bike's been holding up really well. This bike is bulletproof, I feel like. I should knock on wood. But yeah, I've been getting blown around a lot. That's the one thing with this bike is it's so light that any gust of wind will just blow you around, and it's not really good for the highway, I would say. There's long stretches where it seems to be no wind, and it's like, oh yeah, this bike is awesome. And all of a sudden, like a 15 mile an hour gust of wind will come, and it'll just bam. It's like, yeah, it sucks. A couple days ago when I was getting those 50, 60 mile an hour gusts of winds with snow, that was a nightmare. That was absolutely a nightmare. It's good up to about 70 miles an hour if there's no wind whatsoever, but I'm getting some gusts here, so it's making it a little stressful. But I think I got like 350 more miles to go. So far it's been a great ride. Now that I'm warm. Before it was super cold, it still sucked actually. But now it's warmed up and now it's just beautiful. All right, well, I just made it home. Pretty impressive that that bike made it 530 miles in fourth gear. I had it pretty much redlined or close to redline and occasionally over redline the entire time. I was in fourth gear. The speed limit was 80 a lot of times, 75, 70. In fourth gear, it's got about a 6-to-1 gear ratio. So at 1200 RPM, which is redline, it's doing 72, which is less than or just barely speed limit. So, but it worked. I did it. Got me home. I think that that bike, like, there were so many times where I'd have my earplugs in, and all I could go by is feel. And I'd look down and I'd be at like 13, a little plus over 13 RPM. The bike felt fine. It felt like it was just running super smooth. So I bet you that bike can do 14,000 RPM for hours. They really designed it well, and it just is a super high revving engine. And I don't feel bad at all revving it to like 10,000 RPM and riding it like that forever, because this thing handled 12, 13 no problem. So yeah, don't be afraid to rev this thing 10,000, 11,000 RPM and ride it like that for a while. I did it for almost 8 hours. I ran it for about 11 to 12,000 RPM, and that was in fourth gear. All right, I made it home safe. Didn't die. I think so. You can't do it. You can't do it. Yeah, pretend Trump is over there and he needs your help.
Maybe not out.